You know, sometimes the biggest, most powerful ideas, they're actually the simplest ones. Kind of funny how that works. And today, we're going to dive into a really revolutionary concept that tried to change the world not by adding more stuff, but by using way less.
I mean, just think about it for a second. We're all living on this one planet, right? Billions of us, but we're often separated by these invisible walls of language. It's a huge, fundamental human challenge. How in the world do we build bridges across these massive divides? How can we really, truly connect?
All right, so to really get a handle on this, we first need to appreciate just how huge the scale of this problem is. And trust me, it's probably bigger than you think. So what you're seeing here, this is just a tiny glimpse of some of the world's most spoken languages. But it is seriously just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, experts think there are over 7,000 distinct languages spoken on Earth right now. 7,000. That's amazing for human diversity, for sure, but wow, what a staggering hurdle for communication.
So when you're faced with that much complexity, you kind of have to ask, right? Have we been looking at this whole thing backwards? What if the answer isn't to learn thousands and thousands of words, but to focus on just the most essential ones? Could there be a simpler, more elegant way to build that bridge? Well, it turns out someone came up with a pretty fascinating answer to that question almost 100 years ago. It's called Basic English, and it's an attempt to build exactly that, a bridge made of just 850 words.
Yep, that's the number, 850. That's it. I mean, think about that. From a world with millions upon millions of words spread across all those languages we talked about, this system boils it all down to a core list of just 850. And the goal was never to replace English, but just to create a simple, common ground for everyone.
And this is a really key point. Basic English is not a replacement for regular English. It's more like a mini version, a carefully constructed subset. The whole point, its only purpose, was to be a super easy-to-learn second language. You know, to make things like international business, travel, and science just way more accessible to everybody.
Okay, I know what you might be thinking. 850 words? That sounds really restrictive, right? But the genius of it is all in how these core words can combine to express really complex ideas. So let's see how it works. We're going to zoom in on just one single universal word from that list.
All right, so for our little case study, we're going to look at the word music. Simple, right? It's a word everybody gets, but the way it's used in this system really shows you just how powerful a small vocabulary can actually be. So here's the breakdown. Music is a core noun on that B850 list, and this little table perfectly shows the logic of the whole system. The idea is, once you know this one core word, you can pretty easily figure out related ideas like musical or musician without needing a bunch of extra definitions. It's smart.
Okay, so let's check out how this one little word becomes this powerhouse of efficiency. It actually carries three totally distinct but still related meanings, all by itself.
So first up, you've got the meaning we all think of, right? The actual sounds, the melody, the rhythm, the thing you literally hear with your ears.
And this example sentence nails it. The focus is purely on the sound you can hear. If there's no sound, well, there's no music. Super direct, totally literal, and anyone can understand it.
But here's where it gets clever. That same exact word can also mean something completely different. It can be about the written instructions for making those sounds, you know, the sheet music, the notes on the page.
See how that works? In this case, music isn't something you hear, it's something you read. The whole system just trusts you, the listener, to get the context. And just like that, one word does the job of two. Pretty efficient.
And then, for the third meaning, the word totally expands. It goes beyond the literal and the technical, and it gets into the cool stuff, the poetic, the metaphorical.
Ah, your words are music to my ears. I mean, this is where the real beauty of a core vocabulary just shines through, right? The system isn't just for, pass the salt. A simple word like music can also carry all this emotion, this feeling, these abstract ideas. It's just so incredibly efficient.
So, what does this one little word really teach us about the whole system? Well, it pretty much reveals exactly why this idea of radical simplicity is, well, so darn compelling. And here's the big takeaway. Limiting the number of words isn't really about limiting what you can say. Not at all. Instead, it forces you to focus on being crystal clear. It creates this really strong, stable foundation that you can use to build just about any idea. It's all about creating that common ground, that place where everyone can meet and understand each other.
So, when you boil it all down, our little look at the word music shows you the whole strategy in a nutshell. One single word is enough to cover the literal stuff, like instruments, the technical stuff, like sheet music, and even the metaphorical stuff, like pleasant sounds. It's just a masterclass in efficiency, all designed for maximum understanding with the fewest words possible.
And that kind of leaves us with a really fascinating question to chew on, doesn't it? In our world, which is just getting more and more complex and connected, could the real key to better communication, to a deeper connection, actually be found in using fewer words, but just saying them with more clarity? Maybe, just maybe, the most powerful bridges really are the simplest ones.